Yo, what's good, everybody? Ace of all trades here, and we're back with another triple threat podcast. I know we've been gone for a little bit, but we got a lot in store for you guys. But before we get into everything, let me go ahead and introduce our co-host. Go ahead and say what's up, Siggy.
What up, what up?
Yo, and go say what up, JG.
Hey, what's going on?
Alright, y'all, so there's been a lot that's been going on, and currently at this time of recording, the NFL draft is actually happening. So we'll talk about our thoughts about that so far, and we'll do some more updates later on in the website for GameIlluminaughty.com, so be on the lookout for that. But let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to start off with the NFL Draft 2017. Finally here. Can't wait. So which one you guys want to go first? Let's talk about your team's pick. Go for it.
Go for it, JG. Let's talk about your team's pick.
Oh, well, damn. We picked the number 1 pick, number 2 pick, number 3, number 4. No, I'm just playing. We ain't had no fucking picks because the Rams are stupid, so we gave away our first round pick. So there you go.
Who would you have liked if you had the pick?
Given the situation that we're in now, I mean, we have a quarterback, I guess. So I want a wide receiver. I would have liked to have gotten John Ross, to be honest.
Interesting, because that's your boy could have taken Ross, and instead they took Mike Williams, Ace.
Yeah. I mean, look, since Siggy wanted to bring it on me, San Diego we ended up getting the receiver Mike Williams, and he's a great pick. He's a great athlete, but I just feel like we should. He is a great athlete from Clemson. He did very well out there, but I'm just
laughing at Siggy.
I just think for the Chargers as of right now to pick a wide receiver, I don't think that was the smartest choice. If anything, we actually should have got the Jets pick, in my opinion. We need more defensive backs. We need more guys on the defensive side than anything. Now, is it great that we be able to add another arsenal for Phillip Rivers? Of course. Always need it.
Why? Oh, you got Keenan Allen. I know he's been hurt a lot, but why would you need? Honestly, why would you need him?
I mean, why would we need him now? I mean, in my opinion, I think that's a main reason. Like, a lot of our offensive players have been very injury prone, so we need more offensive weapons too. But I think that they'll be able to come through and be able to help us out. I just think defensively we could have got somebody higher and then waited to the second and third round to pick maybe an offensive guy, or even waited to later on down the road. Like, you don't necessarily got to pick that top tier player in the first 3 rounds. Like, some of the best picks come from between rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. So I'm just saying.
Look, you guys got Keenan Allen, right? Coming back.
But he's injury prone.
I know he's injury prone, but you
so
still got
our running back.
Inman did good. You got Benjamin. I mean, you have weapons already around him, so I don't understand. And you still got Tyrell Williams. Where does he fit? You never hear the Chargers say we need more receivers, because I mean, let's face it, Rivers can throw to anybody.
Well, that's
I don't understand the pick. See, I understood why the Titans took what's his face Corey for the receiver for him, because
exactly.
You want to build more offensive pieces around Mariota, but Rivers, I mean, he's already established. He doesn't need. He's at the point now where he can make receivers. You know what I mean? There's those people that can make receivers. Brett Favre can make a receiver. Aaron Rodgers can make a receiver. Rivers can make a receiver. So you don't need to have this guy. It's not like the Chargers, like I said, needed. Hey, we need to make sure that Rivers is throwing 4,600 instead of 4,500 yards. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't understand why I thought it was a waste of a pick, honestly. They needed defense. I thought they would get Adams. I actually thought the Jets were going to get Watson just because it seemed to be like the popular pick. The Jets have always been somebody that likes to, tailor to what the fans want. I didn't want Watson. I wouldn't have minded Watson, but they had a lot of options at that point because everybody was shocked at how dumb the Bears did. So, I was happy that it kind of worked out the way it did. I like Adams. I like that the Jets picked defense. I'm realistic. I don't think the Jets are going to do anything this year. So
definitely not.
I think the reason why they passed on the guys like, there was some popular names out there that they were, throwing out there. Fournette was one that everybody.
Fournette was definitely one for sure.
That was one that they thought, but then they got shocked by what's his face taking them early. But I think the Jets did good defensively because if we would have taken Watson, I already know what's going to happen. It would have been just like Geno Smith. He would have had some bad games. Everybody would have made fun of him. And by the time you know it, he's not going to be confident. And being with the Jets, they could ruin players like that. So I'm glad they didn't take him.
Yeah.
I think the Jets defense, as long as it's doing good, is, you know, I'm not really worried about the offense. Realistically, I don't expect a good season with Jets anyway. So.
Yeah, well, like you were saying before, I said he was a good pick. When I say he's a good pick,
he was a great pick.
He's a great pick, but for the Chargers, he was a wasted pick.
No, I'm not talking about. No, I thought you talking about Adams again. No.
Like he's great as an offensive weapon, but like you stated, Philip Jackson. Oh my God, talking about NBA. Philip Rivers is, like you said, at that point where he can build people around him. You give him somebody, his influence, him being such a veteran in the NFL, can produce receivers. We don't need that. We need more on the defensive side, which is why I made fun of you on the Jets pick, because I felt like the Jets could have picked somebody else. But at the end, I was actually laughing at myself because they fucked it up for us in a way. I didn't think that the Chargers were going to go for a receiver. I thought, okay, we're going for a defensive player. I saw the Jets.
You should have got Lattimore. You should have got a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch of different. This is a defensive draft.
Shit, man, we could have got the one of the cornerbacks from USC, which actually just got picked up by the Titans. Adoree Jackson. I would have loved to have him on the defensive side. I mean, that guy got coverage. He has speed. It's something that we need for the San Diego Chargers, but. Like I said,
you mean the LA Chargers?
Oh, that's right. Yep. LA Chargers. You know, I'm so used to saying San Diego, but you know.
And by the way, I want to clear that when I said great pick, I was talking about the Jets with Adams. Like I said, the Chargers, that was a waste of a pick. He might have been a good player, but he is definitely not a good pick for the Chargers.
Right, and we don't have our next pick is not until the pick 38, which is in the second round. So, and that's the 6th pick. So, hopefully they'll go defensive. And there's the slightest choice and pick that they will trade him. I highly doubt it. Like maybe that would make sense of the draft pick.
No, where do you get this from? Who's feeding your head with these?
No one's feeding the head. I hope so, because I'm trying to see why they picked an offensive player. I highly doubt it, but you never know, fam. I feel like
he was gonna trade for Mike Williams.
Speaking like we'll see. Highly doubt it. Like I said, the reason why I say like you never know is because with the 2nd round pick, I didn't expect that the Bears were gonna do what they did and ended up moving up to the 2nd pick, which they ended up getting Mitchell from North Carolina. I wasn't expecting him to get picked that early.
All right, first of all, let's step back real quick. It was worse than how you explained it. The Bears were the number 3 pick.
Yep. And
the quarterback that everybody thought was going to get taken off the board first was, there was a bunch of quarterbacks. Obviously, Watson is a name. Mahomes was another name.
Yep.
And obviously, this guy was a name too. But nobody really thought that that any team would be desperate enough to pick him at the top unless you're already there, right?
Correct.
The Bears traded their number 3 overall pick to go up 1 spot. Plus, they gave away a 3rd round this year, 3rd round next year. It was like a slew of picks to the 49ers. And it was hilarious because, one, they spent all this money on Glennon on top of that, which is another bad quarterback.
$45 million.
Oh, my God.
3 years.
The Bears just made probably one of the most baffling draft picks, and it reminded me of that movie Draft Day. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
I thought I think they saw this movie and they thought maybe they could flip this guy to somebody, thinking that somebody wanted, like, Washington was willing to trade Kirk Cousins to go up that spot. I was thinking maybe they did that for that, but the thing is, reality sets in. They made the worst move ever. They
moved from 12 to 1. They moved from 3 to 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They reached for Trubisky. Honestly, let's say 49ers, let's say if they traded that spot out of there, who was really going to take Trubisky to move up? You know what I mean? It would have been it would have been somebody like a Watson, somebody that you project to be something that is better. Not Trubisky.
They're kicking themselves in the ass for that pick, but like I said, the 1st round is still going on. We'll see. They're actually, at the time of this recording, at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers pick, so we'll see what the Bucs get. That's JG's 2nd team now.
It's gonna be Dalvin Cook most likely. They like to keep their players in state.
So I mean, we can keep moving forward with the NFL draft stuff. If you guys don't have anything else to say, speaking of the NFL draft, this always comes around every year. There's always some type of incident that happened with draftees, and you know, I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts about that, about stupid things that happen. For instance, SportsCenter was talking about this earlier when one potential draftee got a charge, actually not even a misdemeanor, a domestic violence charge. What do you guys think about that? Like, not just that particular situation, but also how draftees do stupid things before they get potentially drafted first, second, third round to the NFL.
I think the most popular one is the marijuana. You always see a bunch of players fail their samples, you know, like their B samples, C samples, and stuff like that. I think the NFL just needs to get rid of the marijuana part for at least until after the draft. You know, releasing the samples.
Nah, I can't say that, fam. I can't.
Stay off the weed.
Like, fam,
I know they should and all this stuff, but there's just a whole bunch of things. You know, they could have been partying. They could have been telling the truth with the secondhand stuff too. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's understandable, but I mean, who was it like a couple years back that got caught having a gas mask and was taking a hit out of a bong or something like that?
Yeah,
like fam,
that
like
was the whole boy who went to the Dolphins.
Yeah, like stuff like that is just like dumb. Like, come on, fam. Like, for real, like, you have a chance of a lifetime. You're in a position that so many people dream about, want, and they can't physically do it. And you got God-given ability, and you're gonna mess it up just because of a party, or you know, you're gonna get mad at somebody because somebody says something stupid. Like, bro, let it go. You're about to make millions of dollars and do what you love to do for a job. Like, and not a lot of people can say I work for the NFL and I actually get to play sports. Like, I never understood that, being a former athlete.
You know
I don't
what?
get it.
That's why Garrett, I truly believe, was at home, which by the way is over here in Arlington, Texas, where I'm at. I think his mom told him, "You're not going anywhere near Philadelphia and get in trouble. You're staying your ass home."
You talking about Garrett Miles?
Yeah,
Miles Garrett. Excuse me. Yeah.
So I think obviously the number one rule is just, you know, stay quiet. Don't use social media for a lot of stuff. Don't let the haters hate. Don't get yourself in that position. But I do think that the marijuana thing is trying to go over. I think the NFL uses that to influence the draft a lot more, because it seems like it's always odd timing. Oh, let's release these samples now, you know, a couple of days before the draft, etc.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you, Sig. They need to ease up on the marijuana thing, because that's generally like the thing 9 times out of 10 that they always say that these potential draft picks end up getting caught on. We also have to keep in mind, and it's always hard. Oh, they end up picking O.J. Howard, so I guess they skipped on Dalvin Cook. All right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, picked up O.J. Howard. Okay, tight end. I ain't mad at it. But going back, these are kids. Like, we gotta realize that these are kids, and kids do stupid things. While I don't condone any of the stuff that, you know, all these allegations or whatnot. They are kids, and kids make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It's just kind of hard for me. Like, everybody's different. Everybody's raised is different, and at the end of the day, no one is perfect. They're all gonna make mistakes. We all make mistakes. One of us in here is perfect.
It is what it is. But then we have adults that also do the same shit. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, some of them never grow up.
They
like
never learn.
Josh Gordon. There you go.
That guy.
Nah, Josh Gordon. That shit legit pisses me off with Josh Gordon. Like, he's had so many times. Don't smoke weed, but you smoke weed, fam. Why you keep failing? Like,
it's like Ricky Williams. He retired for it. I mean,
sometimes
you just don't want to let it go.
Bro, Ricky Williams was so bad, fam. Like, it was so bad. Like, you can't just stop. It's just like almost with MLB and steroids. Like, you get caught once, stop. And then you get caught again, and then you get caught a third time, and then you have to force retire due to the fact that you can't play anymore because you've been caught so many times. Like, fam, like, what are you thinking?
It's addictive, man. Even though it's a plant, it's still an addictive plant. Like, I don't have no problem with people smoking weed. I know hell people smoke weed. I mean,
I'm not saying I have a problem with it, but
people like it. Some people just can't stop. It's just like smoking cigarettes. It's the same shit. Like, people like smoking weed, and some people just want to do it. They can't stop, and that's what ends up happening. You just continue to get in trouble, continue to get in trouble, and you don't care about it. You making all that money, and you just still want to smoke.
there's going to be a potential problem because there's a lot of states going towards the
medical, and then medicinal marijuana,
medicinal and recreational, Colorado and Washington. So, what's the line? I mean, because if it's almost like drinking. Obviously you're not going to go to the job drunk, but how would you know if you're too high or whatever if you did some recreational use? So
that's true.
It's going to be kind of weird. And then on top of that, now that the Raiders are going to go to Vegas, there's going to be a lot of strange things probably when it comes to gambling.
Oh boy, they going to be on it.
So. Yeah, they're definitely going to be on it. And actually, since you brought up the Raiders, we can actually move forward. Just with the Oakland / Las Vegas Raiders, I guess we can start calling them. Marshawn Lynch came out of retirement. The beast mode is back. What do y'all think about Marshawn Lynch coming out of retirement, going to the Oakland Raiders? Do you feel like he's going to help the Oakland Raiders get to a certain point before they leave Oakland and to come back to Vegas? Or do you think it's going to be all hype? Siggy, what do you think?
Look, I like Marshawn Lynch. Beast mode is a beast. 2 years removed, though, man, I just don't know if we're going to see the same beast mode. I'll be honest. And he's a little bit older. I don't know what kind of shape he's in. I know he's done stuff on TV and stuff like that. He still looks like he's a beast, but we've seen some of the best come back after time, and they just don't look the same. So I can't. True. The biggest difference between anybody that wants to try to use Jordan was out for a couple of years and he came back, but when he did that mini retirement, he was in his prime. Beast mode isn't in his prime. He was actually in the scale end, so at the back end of his career. So. Because he's been playing. I don't know.
He's been playing since the 2007 season. He started off with Buffalo, and afterwards, he went from in 2010 he went from Buffalo to Seattle. So, and in his career in Seattle, a lot of people know him more. At least more football fans know him more now from the Seattle background. So to see him come back and go to the Raiders, I think that's great. I mean, he did say if he was going to come back, it would be for Oakland. I think this is great for the city of Oakland. I do think it's great for Marshawn Lynch as well, because he said if he was going to come back and play, he was going to play for Oakland, his hometown. I mean, when he was at Cal Berkeley, like, they loved him there. Like, so for him to go back to it is a great thing. They definitely do add another offensive weapon to their already stacked offense. So I think that's good. I think he can make a huge impact. Now, the only thing that in my mind that I'm worried about is, he didn't play the full season of 2015 season. I'm actually looking at the stats now. He actually only played 7 games. And I mean, his attempts were obviously cut in half. I mean, the man only rushed for 417 yards compared to his 2014 season, which he was at 1,300 yards. So it's going to be good. It's going to be interesting to see where he's placed within the offense, how he gets the feel for it. I'm sure that he still stayed in shape. I don't think that he just said, F it, I'm done. I'm not gonna, train or anything along that.
He probably ate nothing but Skittles. He has that lifetime supply of Skittles. He probably just sat back watching TV and just eating Skittles away.
All right, what do you think, JG? What do you think about the beast mode?
I mean, I'm hoping that he can put on for a city, but then again, I don't think he's going to be there for long, to be honest. Maybe you may get 2 or 3 years. I don't even know if he's going to last until they end up going to Vegas.
Fam, I wouldn't mind. I would love it. I would love it. I would definitely go see him play in Vegas.
So can I talk shit?
My bad.
You be so happy. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he probably gonna be one and done again. We got to see what that contract is looking like.
So what do you think about Murray though? What do you think? Do you think the stunts?
No, they should have gave away Latavius Murray, man. He had an amazing season.
That was horrible.
He had an amazing season.
I would have kept him.
I didn't like their trade at all. Did not like their trade at all, yo.
Bad trade, in my opinion. He did very well.
How many? Let's do predictions. How many yards do you think he's gonna get?
Who? Beast mode?
On his worst, maybe 800. Best, I would say 1,100.
Nah, I'm saying like 700. 700 yards, and his best, he'll flirt past 1,000. He won't get like 1,200, but he'll definitely get at least 1,000, I believe. With their offense, definitely.
See, that's the thing. I think it's hard to predict because, obviously Carr is a beast, and they have Cooper, they have Crabtree. I mean, that offense is throwing offense. So you have to almost have to look at like what the Packers look like. Eddie Lacy, whenever he was doing good, even at best, he might get 900 yards, right? So,
but Latavius broke 1,000 though. So
yeah, exactly. But
that was when Carr was still had the training wheels.
I'm sure it's going to open up a lot of lanes. That's the whole thing about the Raiders offense that I can say that I like a lot, because they do have a lot of offensive weapons, especially when it comes to wide receiver. It's going to be able to open up the field against different defenses. And when they do want to run the ball, he's going to get his yards, like, at the end of the day.
I think he'll get a lot of touchdowns. I think they're going to use him a lot.
Absolutely. They're not going to make the same mistake that Seattle did. I hope not. Like, Jesus Christ, the man's called beast mode for a reason. Like, let the man run wild on the field.
I'm glad he's not terrorizing the NFC West again. Now he can terrorize the AFC West.
Right.
It's going to be interesting.
Speaking of terrorizing, let's move it to Adrian Peterson, AP, going to the Saints.
I'll tell her what you said, Red. Tell her what you said.
That was an L by you, by the way.
That wasn't an L by me. So if you obviously you guys don't know unless you guys are following us on Twitter or whatever. Like, these guys are probably tweeted out or whatever. But I was saying that Adrian Peterson, I mean, he is injury prone, but there were two teams interested in him, the New England Patriots and the Saints. I thought for Adrian Peterson, it would have been a better choice for him personally to go to the New England Patriots. Now, yes, I know y'all gonna go off in the comment section. Like, they're already stacked. They don't need any more people. But you know what, though? Adrian Peterson is at that point in his season where I feel, he's definitely injury prone. That's a big thing. He shouldn't get the amount of money that he won. I think he was requesting like 10 mil plus.
He wanted $20 million.
He wanted $20 million, which I don't think it was worth it at all. Especially, you have something to prove. You need to prove to people that you are still able to be able to carry the ball very well. Don't fumble it, and also protect yourself and not get injured. I felt like New England would have been the best choice for him because, one, it would have gave him a huge potential to be able to get a Super Bowl ring, and it could have made the Patriots offense move forward. Plus, with their offensive line,
what?
Yeah,
you listen to yourself. Did you just say they can move forward? Like they don't?
No, they can move forward regardless with them. I just feel like it would help. I feel like he would have been a great addition to the New England Patriots.
It doesn't matter who the Patriots get. That's why we found what you said. Hilarious. It does not matter who the Patriots have.
You're right.
It
doesn't.
It never matters.
It never matters. At the end of the day, the reason why I said that it would have been a good choice, it would have been a better choice for AP more than it would have been for New England. At the end of the day, I want
third down back.
I would have been happy to see my man. I would have said my man. I would have seen my man get a ring, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. AP would have got a ring.
Okay, see, I would have had no problem with AP.
Now we get to the bread and butter of the situation. That's why, because you wanted him to get a ring. All right,
Henry, get that ring.
That's okay, man. You should have said that from the start.
You know what's funny is it's amazing how just a couple of things here and there, time makes things just completely different. It wasn't that long ago. What was it? 2 years ago, everybody thought he was going to get traded to the Cowboys. And he was on the brink of getting a huge deal with the
Yo, so we have some technical difficulties, so you can go ahead and put the L's in the chat. Unfortunately, the audio for us talking about Adrian Peterson and New England Patriots and the MVP race talk with James Harden and Russell Westbrook was affected, and I couldn't salvage it, so my bad, y'all. I'll take responsibility. Long story short, we feel that Harden busted his behind this season, and if Russell Westbrook didn't have the historic season he had, he would have been MVP. But since Russell had this historic season, he deserves MVP at the end of the day. But hope you guys are enjoying the podcast, and I'm out.
He was second place with like 13. So it just shows how great Westbrook did. He had whatever it was, 40 whatever, and Harden was second place with 13, which was just as good. 13, wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, fam. But so obviously Houston is moving forward. What other games did you guys think was interesting going on at current games right now? Like the Bucks, man. The Bucks is surprising.
The Bucks just got eliminated though.
Yeah, the Bucks wanted it though. Like I feel like they were pushing hard for that win, fam. Like I was thoroughly impressed, and they have something special, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the Bucks have for next season. What do you guys think of the other games so far that went on? What about Portland and and the Warriors. What do you guys think about that?
We don't need to talk about that. Like, we saw it already.
Yeah. The only other one that was interesting at first was Celtics Bulls, but now everybody knows Celtics are gonna win that too.
Yeah, because Rondo is still out, so don't take it back and say. Well, actually, they might need to play him now for this potential last game because they're shaky. But I was actually impressed with Rondo, man. Like, it took him a very, very long time to get started, and he ended up making a huge difference. Like, I would have never thought that Chicago would have been putting up a fight like this. But at the same time, this is a historic matchup. I mean, I always think about 07 when they were going to like at least one overtime every single like round that they played. I was like, what the hell is going on, man? Like, they were just going at it. Like, this shit was crazy. But yeah, they're back at it. But I just think that the Celtics are going to pull it off. But we'll see what happens in the next round if they do end up closing it out. So that was other interesting series, just on paper.
Yeah, everything else is pretty much chalk. Everybody knew the playoffs are predictable. There's no surprises really.
I wouldn't say that necessarily, because I was gonna say one of the best teams in my opinion on paper in the Western Conference is the Los Angeles Clippers, and they're losing right now to Utah.
Well, Blake is gone though. I mean,
I'm not surprised at that.
I'm not surprised.
I don't know.
It's the Clippers, Joe. Even if they get past the first round, because I mean, they barely got past the first round when they faced the Spurs that one time. You put that up to a lucky ass layup by Chris Paul,
right? And the Spurs are 3-2 right now.
That one is kind of surprising how close it is, because I know Memphis, has some talent, but
yeah,
I thought the Spurs for sure were way better than.
I mean, it's all about being at home, though.
They just they made the mistake of not making a move in the trade deadline. I always thought that for the Spurs, and Aldridge, man, all of a sudden he just went from top player, top 10 whatever, to crap. I mean, he's been shit. Aldridge has been horrible. He really has. I can't.
He also got a lot of his spotlight taken away with them picking up Gasol.
Yeah, but Gasol's doing well, so I'm happy for Gasol at the end of the day.
He's not doing anything either. I mean,
he's not doing well, but they're both being mediocre together.
Yeah, they are. Exactly.
So, I think maybe he has like
Parker's also been mediocre.
He has Kawhi Leonard's been fucking killing.
He's the only one that's doing anything. Leonard, I feel bad for him.
You think he'll always stay a Spur? Do you think he'll go somewhere else?
Nah, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. He's not going anywhere.
Spurs don't get rid of players like that.
Yeah, so
once you're a Spur, you would pretty much go stay a Spur.
Yep.
Right. All right, so we talked about this cat before, but we're gonna talk about him again. So more in Lavar Ball news. Nike executive statement basically said he is the worst person out there. What do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like he said some pretty foul stuff to Nike? Do you think that Nike reached with this and that was not necessary? Do you think now that his sons will all go to Adidas? What's going on? What you guys think?
Nike definitely reached. They reached with this one. They were upset because Lavar Ball, even though he said a bunch of outlandish stuff, Lavar Ball wants to keep that money in-house. He wants to actually get his own brand, but I mean, unless he actually tries to go for it and actually make shoes himself and distribute those, he knows that he's going to have to, get a deal from somebody. But at the same time, the amount that he's asking right now at this point in time is ridiculous. You asked for $1 billion. You ain't getting it, bro. You're not LeBron. Like, none of your kids are LeBron right now. They're not even proving themselves in the league right now. We got to see where Lonzo goes first. And you still got 2 more kids up the back. They ain't ready yet. But at the same time, like I said, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at his hustle. And he does bring up some good points. He's like, man, y'all been screwing over athletes forever. Like, LeBron James is 1 in every million. So like he's only one of those only people that get that deal. But a lot of other players, they get these little shitty deals and they don't get the same respect that you give a LeBron. So at the same time, like to say that though, that he's the worst thing to happen in basketball in the last 100 years, that's very, very harsh. Very harsh. I don't think that's going way too far there.
Yeah, especially for a company as big as Nike, they could rise above that. They could have easily just said, "No, we'll pass," and that's the end of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, like, why do y'all care? Why do y'all care that much?
Clearly, they got triggered over something. But I forgot this, and I wanted to hear you guys' thoughts about this. Let's talk about Carmelo Anthony. Like, this guy cannot catch a break. Like, Yeah, he would keep talking about rings, like he doesn't have a ring, and it looks like he just lost another one with Lala Anthony, his still his wife, but they're separated. So is Carmelo going to stay in New York, or is he leaving? Phil Jackson is throwing more shots at Carmelo. What do you guys think? Should they get rid of Phil too? Like,
it's no way. The Knicks just picked up his contract, so they're not going to get rid of Phil.
Gotcha.
Obviously the writing is on the wall. You just put 2 and 2 together. Phil Jackson's trying his hardest to make Carmelo uncomfortable to accept a trade. He has the no trade clause, so it's clear that Carmelo wants to stay in New York. I don't think there's any question about that. I don't know if it's a pride thing at this point, or if maybe whoever he's banging behind Lala's back, is in New York also. I don't know, but he's obviously wanting to stay in New York, because if he wanted to leave, it would just be easy. Phil wants him to leave. Lala wants him to leave. So if he wanted to leave, it would just happen, and it's not happening. So that just means Carmelo wants to stay. So it's just going to be a situation where they're just got to deal with each other. And it's kind of like A-Rod with the Yankees. There was a lot of turmoil for a long time there, and eventually, he just finally got forced into retirement.
See, I don't think it's
much a Yankee.
See, I don't think it's going to be that bad, because the A-Rod situation was bad. Like, that man.
Yeah, you think this is good? I mean,
well, I don't think it's good, but it's not as bad. Like, fam, like, yeah, Carmelo, at least, I mean, he get caught cheating, but he didn't get caught cheating in the NBA wise. So I don't think that, like, he should be, like, because people, like, in New York City, like, were hating this man so bad. Like, they didn't want him there. Like, for his retirement, a lot of people just really didn't give a fuck. I think if it happened with Melo, people would care. People would think it's messed up. Like, Carmelo
and you can see that. You can see that with the fans. I mean, I was in Carmelo's corner the whole time, as a Knicks fan. But now it's to the point where, okay, yeah, it doesn't look like the Knicks are going to do anything, so you might as well leave. I mean, with him, they're still a bad team. Without
where does
him,
he go?
Just be an even bad team.
So where does he go?
That's the thing. He's holding the chips, demanding where he wants to go. But where are we going to trade him to? We're not going to get value for him, so it's almost not even worth trading him.
My dumbass team would probably buy him and give him all the money in the world for him to be like, hey, Carmelo, come over to the Lakers, man. We'll pay you like $200 million. We'll make you a rich man. Come through. Like,
whenever the Knicks said that they're willing to take Clippers that are not Blake, Paul, or what's his face, Jordan. That shit was
that's
stupid. You know what I mean?
That was disrespectful.
I'll take a Blake or anything, for Carmelo. But now they're saying that means they pretty much told the market we're willing to take crap for him.
Basically. Well, we'll see with everything going on. We'll have more NBA talks later on and update you guys in later podcasts. You guys got any other sports news you want to talk about in particular? Anything you saw funny on Twitter? Anything along those lines?
All right, why don't you want to talk about ESPN layoffs?
Oh, well, we can go ahead too. I just wanted to actually move it forward to NBA first, but a few days ago, ESPN actually let go over 100 people, and that's due to the fact that they feel like ESPN needs to go into a different direction. ESPN is historic. I mean, there's been so many things going on, but they have a huge problem with trying to keep things how they've been keeping things for the past and trying to move forward within the future with everything being more digital, online streaming, and like they got rid of a lot of notable online hosts. I mean, a lot of people were in the ESPN for like 10-15 years, and they built some of them started off at ESPN, and for it to see a lot of people that have spent their long hard time there, it's kind of sad. And especially when some of them didn't know, like that's the thing, like some of them were notified, a lot of them weren't. Some of them were finding out on live TV via Twitter and everything. Like, imagine you're at your job and everything, and you think everything is great. Come to find out, you see a tweet, you've been let go, and then you get an email from your executive, your boss, whoever it is.
I think that's a reach. I'll be honest. They had to have known first, or else how did the name get out?
I mean, here's the thing though. You can't be surprised. Like with ESPN, they've done some dirty things before, fam. Like, and I wouldn't be surprised.
This is Disney. I doubt that Disney would reach like that. I don't know. I just don't believe that. I mean, I think they knew before. Most of them tweeted out that, hey, by the way, I got let go today. I don't see how they could say, oh, I didn't know until I saw it on Twitter.
I mean, there's been talks about them actually doing it for a very long time, but the names weren't out there. A lot of people didn't know exactly who it was. So by some of them, it caught some of them by surprise. I mean, there were some people that were actually on vacation and got a call or a tweet or whatever, or got a text and said, hey, you know, we decided to go a different direction. At the end of the day, it kind of sucks. And I understand that ESPN needs to move forward when it comes to how they like are trying to transition to things, you know, for the future. But you know, it's you know, it just sucks. Like, you never want to see anybody lose their job, regardless.
What do you think?
I'm not sure what to think. I do think that some of them weren't notified. Maybe they didn't check their emails. Who knows? I think that some of the Twitter reactions were legit. I don't think that they were playing it. Or at least I will hope that they weren't playing. I mean, it is your job, you know, that got cut. So that's a terrible situation, no matter how you react to it or how you put it. So I'm kind of on the fence because I don't know. But at the end of the day, it still does suck. Like, I wasn't expecting that to happen. Like, they literally did the fire sale with their job. Like, oh, we're cutting. Like, I would never think in a million years ESPN would be hurting. But I guess you know, it is just a turn in the ages. Like, a lot of people, they just like the 30-second or minute, you know, videos on social media. So that's all that they need. Like, you don't necessarily need all of the specific analysts for the specific teams and the specific divisions. Yeah, I get that, but at the same time, it is people's jobs, and some people have been there for years. Like, I've seen a lot of baseball analysts. Those were the main ones that got the boot. Baseball is still an old time sport. Yeah, baseball and hockey. Those are the main two. So it does.
Andy Katz, I think that was the most shocking name in my opinion.
Yeah, that was actually pretty shocking. But
and then they let go of like Trent Dilfer.
I can understand Dilfer. He sucked.
You didn't like him?
Like
Dilfer's dimes, bro. I like Dilfer's dimes.
I think. What do you think about names that? It's hard to say. You know, I wanted him to leave. I don't want anybody to lose their job, obviously. But were you shocked that there weren't any names that, or people that didn't get let go? Because at least a lot of them stayed. You know, a lot of the ones that stayed. I mean, the only shocking one was Dilfer, I guess, Katz, and Ed Werder. But nobody really. I can't say that those are people that you care for. You know, obviously, out of 100 people, some of them were behind the scenes. You know, maybe writers and things like that. But there really wasn't a big name. If it was a Stephen A. Smith, that would have been shocking. If it was a Mohamed Jones, if it would have been something like that.
Yeah, like right. Because they just say that they reduced Hannah Storm's role. Yeah, but they didn't let her go. Yeah, I would have been even more upset if they would let some of them go. But they know that these are the people that we typically watch on TV. Like, I keep my TV on SportsCenter, so I've seen the same people. Like, if they would have been like, oh man, the SportsCenter 6 is now going after y'all just made it, I'd be like, oh hell no, ESPN, y'all tripping. I'm good, y'all. I'm gonna go to Fox now. Like, I ain't watching y'all no more.
I got a feeling a lot of them are going to go to Fox anyways.
I mean, it's already been like that. Fox has already been snatching them up. I mean, you gave Skip a deal, and then Colin Cowherd, he left after the whole esports thing. He was pissed, yo. Yep. He said, "This shit ain't real sports." Like, I'm go. So
Hannah Storm thinks that the political climate is the reason why a lot of cuts happen. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
You think ESPN is getting too political?
Yes, they definitely are.
Yeah, they are.
I think so too. I think really the driving point in this that started it all, in my opinion, was the whole Caitlyn Jenner winning the award for Woman of the Year, whatever.
That was a downfall. I'll say that.
After one day, like, as soon as she came out, then it's like, oh, by the way, she's Woman of the Year. It's like, how?
Woman of the Year.
Yeah, that right there, in my opinion, is what made a lot of people turn ESPN off. I'll be honest. It's not about Caitlyn Jenner. It's not about the whole trend. It's just the fact that they did that like that. It was an ABC special. It was ABC owns ESPN. Disney owns ABC. It just was too pushed. You know what I mean? It was too in your face. Like, you have to accept it. Boom. And ESPN drove that. And I think they didn't realize that they were driving a wedge between their viewers. In my opinion, it had nothing to do with sports. At least I didn't think so. Bruce Jenner was Olympian a long time ago. It wasn't now. So what was the whole point of that? So I think that's what really started the downfall, in my opinion.
Gotcha.
Very, very interesting.
Yo, hold on real quick. So this is breaking news. Obviously, I told you guys that we are dealing with the NFL draft. What do you think about Peppers going to the Browns? That's
so they just picked them up.
Yeah, I don't know, fam.
The Browns are having a really good deal right now. I mean, a really good day right now. They really are. I just think though that without a quarterback, that team's still gonna be bad. But
yeah, they don't have anybody. They don't have anyone to get to this man's hands. Like, I don't know.
They do these great deals, but it doesn't seem like it shows up on the field.
Right. I mean, I would have liked Peppers being on for me for the Chargers. He'd been a good DB in my opinion. But,
a lot of people just aren't motivated to play too. Like, again, you're in Cleveland. You're in a terrible city. Like, it was like demotivates you to play.
Yeah, it was like almost like how it used to be. Like for the Raiders, like when they were going through that stint when nobody wanted to go there. That was when legends go to die. Like,
yeah, that's Randy Moss.
Yeah, Randy Moss,
Yeah.
Jerry Rice, coon ass. So but now it's Cleveland. Like, nobody wants to go to Cleveland. Like, and I honestly wonder, like when Johnny Manziel got picked, like, was he like ecstatic? He was going. I know he bet he was, but he probably was just like deep down.
He was so ecstatic he parted himself out of the NFL.
I still don't know how he did that, yo. But no, actually, no, I do, because he immediately went to Vegas. Like, he was like, no, I'm not even gonna party in Cleveland. I'm gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna go wherever else. I ain't seen him really partying in Cleveland. Cleveland is the equivalent of the 76ers to the NBA now. Like, that environment is just terrible. You see the bad looks on the face. Like, I still remember Jahlil Okafor when he got selected by 76ers. He had the worst face ever. It was all over his face. He was pissed to go to the 76ers. Why the hell would you want to go to a losing ass team?
I remember that.
It's just like that. You don't want to go to a losing team, and the Browns historically lose. They are historically the worst team in the NFL. You don't want to go there, man.
But I do think that with LeBron winning in Cleveland and the Indians all of a sudden being good, or at least they did last year, I'm not sure about it right now, but I think if there's a winning culture starting, it could change quickly. I mean, who would have thought the Cubs, at all those years, nobody wanted to be a Cub. Now all of a sudden, the Cubs are awesome. And now everybody wants to be a Cub. Now you look at the lineup, you're like, damn, that guy's good. That guy's good.
Well, people are bandwagonism though, so you got to keep that in mind. But
I understand.
That was all. The Cubs were on their own, though. Like, I mean, that is a long air drive, 108 years. But the Cubs finally decided to get a new coach, and they had actually spent some money. When you spend some money, that's when you get results, and they got a hell of a load of players. Like, and no one thought that Jake Arrieta would come out the gate playing like he played. Like, it was just a lot of people that when you spend money and people just come out and actually want to play, and they end up surprising you.
It definitely starts at the top. Theo Epstein, that hire was a genius. I mean, he's a genius when he was with the Red Sox, and then they got Madden, probably the best coach.
Yep.
It was just, you breed winning whenever you bring winners along. So the Browns just need to do that. I mean, it can happen. I'm just saying that. Who would have thought the Cleveland Cavaliers would have?
It does start with management. Management is key there. But again, that environment has to change, man. Yeah, Cleveland did change a lot when LeBron coming there at first and then leaving, and they were pissed and went through another slump, and then it came back. And yeah, you finally win something. You get to the finals again. You lose one, you win the next one. So hopefully, because I mean, you can see that the Indians bit off of it. Yeah. But we waiting on the Browns to catch some of that with it mentality, because they didn't do that, yo. they didn't do that at all last year.
There was hype though around last year. It just never panned out. RG3, a lot of people.
Are we gonna win a game? Yeah.
Right.
Gordon was supposed to be finally back. That didn't happen.
The only person that played good on that team was Terrell Pryor.
Yeah.
He was the only person playing.
And he wasn't even playing his main position. He went to wide receiver.
He said, "I'm gonna just catch these balls, bro."
I ain't mad at Terrell Pryor. Like, he was the only person that was balling out. But Cleveland being third world country. Well, hopefully it'll change eventually in the sports world. I don't think in our lifetime.
It could change quickly. Look at your Raiders. It changed quickly. I mean, it was just a couple of years ago. It seemed like they were dead.
Well, I said after, unfortunately, the passing of Al Davis. After that happened and then new people came in, they changed, but they don't have that over there at the Raiders. The Cleveland.
It's been a real long time too.
It's been a long time. They're historically known for not being that team at all. But we'll see. But like
Anything
I said,
can happen.
yeah, we got the rest of the NFL draft coming up later on, so we'll update you guys via the website. So definitely check that out. You guys got any ending remarks? Go ahead, Siggy. What you got to say?
Well, where's Oklahoma's running back going? Is he going to get drafted, you think?
Joe Mixon. We're gonna see. Well, since Peppers got picked, I think somebody gonna pick him up. Somebody gotta pick him up. Like this stuff was in the past. Yeah, it was messed up, but somebody's picked Joe Mixon up. I'm still waiting on Dalvin Cook to go out. He still hasn't went out yet.
Exactly. I don't. Do you think he'll go first round, or do you think he'll end up going the second round?
He might end up going a second, given this lineup, because it's what is it, three more picks left, or 4 more picks left?
Yep.
So I don't think anybody really needs a running back out of the last pick. So he might drop down the second round.
I don't know. What do you think about Patriots? You know, they're the ones talking to AP for some reason, and it didn't happen. You think they were sneaky?
Pick up Dalvin?
I mean, hey, the Patriots have done some crazy things, and it's worked in their latest draft pick. So
forget the Patriots. I hate them so much.
All right, so you got anything to say?
Nah, that's all right. You know what we did? The one thing we didn't talk about sports-wise is Colin Kaepernick going to get picked at all?
Oh man,
I think that man is officially blacklisted.
Yeah, I think he's blacklisted. Yeah, and Siggy, are you sure that you of all people want to bring up Colin Kaepernick? Are you sure about this?
About Colin Kaepernick?
Yo, y'all been going in on Siggy, man.
I said whenever this whole thing started that it was gonna hurt him whenever he's a free agent, and sure enough, it did. I'll just leave it at that. It hurt him.
All right, yeah.
Saturday, right?
You know, it hurt him so much he had to publicly announce that he will stand up.
Yep.
I mean, so that's how you know at this point. You know, he wants to play because he's now all of a sudden, hey, I want to stand up. So
he said, hey man, I'm gonna do what I was always doing before last year, yo. I'm sorry.
But he's also been requesting a lot of money too, and he's another player that fam, you've been sucking the past like 2 years, fam.
Yeah, he was horrible.
Like you can't
every opportunity. I mean, Chip Kelly literally lost his job for him. I mean,
Chip Kelly definitely put it on the line for him, and
he was like, yo, Brock did it. Why can't I get that money?
Nah.
You know what?
When you got ass quarterbacks getting all that money.
That's true. Glennon got money. I mean,
exactly. So I ain't mad at him for wanting that money. You know, at least he's got into the Super Bowl. Yep. Have any of them got to the Super Bowl? No.
He has the talent. I mean,
he has the talent.
I never denied that. It's just
he's just been on the slump.
He's just been on a major slump. He couldn't do it in his offense, and you figure that would have been the offense where he could have shined, and it didn't happen.
It really sucks because really it's only a certain amount of teams that need a starter right now, to be honest. Right. I mean, the Bears were one, but you see what they did. Like I didn't agree with the Glennon pick, but then you pick up Trubisky as well. They were really the only other team. The Texans ended up getting Deshaun Watson. So where you gonna go?
Yeah, now it's officially over. I don't think even if he thought it was blacklisted, you know, in the NFL, now there's just no place to go unless you want to be a backup. And it doesn't look like he wanted to be a backup.
Yeah, nobody needs your bread.
No, sorry.
Yeah, we'll see. And my ending remarks: go LA Chargers, go LA Lakers. We'll see y'all next season, better, improved. Magic Johnson, please do something with that team. Please get Kobe to do something for us as well. Go Lakers, go. This has been
Marlins. Derek Jeter now the owner.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's what's up for. I'm happy about that. That's a good look. That's a good.
I'm surprised he didn't go after the Rays, but the Rays suck. So
right.
So, I guess the Marlins aren't too much better, but at least you got Stanton.
Right.
Then again, the co-owner is Jeb Bush, so you know he probably was.
Oh right.
Oh my god. All right, y'all. So that's been the Triple Threat Podcast. Appreciate y'all coming through. We are out of here. Deuces.
Peace.